Chapter 2, Odin 1. The father of gods and men. Odin, often referred to as the All-Father, occupies the highest position within the Norse pantheon, embodying various roles and attributes that define him as a complex and revered deity. Ruler of Asgard, as the chief of the Aesir gods, Odin reigns over Asgard, the divine realm of the Norse cosmos. From his throne in Valhalla, he oversees the affairs of gods and mortals, maintaining order and balance in the universe. God of wisdom and knowledge, Odin's insatiable thirst for wisdom drives him to great lengths in his pursuit of knowledge. He sacrifices one of his eyes at the well of Mimir to gain profound insight and understanding of the world. Additionally, he hangs himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and nights, enduring pain and suffering to uncover the secrets of the runes, symbols of magical power. War and death. Odin is revered as a formidable warrior god, leading the charge in battle and inspiring courage in his followers. Fallen warriors who display valor on the battlefield are chosen by Odin to join the j.r.r. in Valhalla, where they train and prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle of the gods. Poetry and magic. Odin's association with poetry and magic is evident in his acquisition of the mead of poetry, which grants him mastery over language and creativity. He is also skilled in the practice of cedar, a form of Norse magic, using charms and spells to shape the course of destiny. Father of many. Odin's lineage extends to numerous gods and heroes, each embodying different facets of his complex nature. Among his notable offspring are Thor, the thunder god renowned for his strength and bravery, Balder, the god of light and purity beloved by all, and Höder, the blind god whose unwitting actions lead to tragedy. Various names throughout history and across cultures. Odin, the chief god in Norse mythology, is known by many names and titles, reflecting his complex character and diverse attributes. These names are drawn from various historical texts, cultures, and traditions, each highlighting different aspects of his persona. Norse names and titles. 1. Allfather, Alfather. This name emphasizes Odin's role as the father of all gods and humans. 2. Valfather, Valfather, meaning father of the slain. It underscores his connection to fallen warriors. 3. Har-High, one of the 3 names Odin uses when he appears in disguise in Gylfaginning. 4. Jafnhar, just as high, another name from his disguise in Gylfaginning, indicating his supreme status. 5. Thrithi, third, the third name from the same disguise in Gylfaginning. 6. Grimnir, masked one, used by Odin when he travels incognito. 7. Belverkr, a name he adopts while undertaking difficult tasks. 8. Fimbultyr, mighty god, emphasizing his power and strength. 9. Harbarthr, Greybeard, a name he uses when disguised as a ferryman. 10. Ygr, terrible one, reflecting his fearsome nature. Anglo-Saxon and Old English. 1. Woden, the Anglo-Saxon version of Odin, worshipped in early English history. 2. Wodanas, an early Germanic form of his name, indicating his widespread worship among Germanic tribes. Germanic cultures. 1. Wotan, the name used in Germanic tribes, reflecting his role in their mythology. 2. Wotan, a variation of Wotan used in Old High German texts. Other cultures. 1. Mercurius, Mercury. The Romans equated Odin with Mercury, the god of communication and travel, due to his association with magic and the dead. 2. Hermodr. Although Hermodr is a separate figure in Norse mythology, some traditions link him to aspects of Odin's persona, particularly in the context of communication with the dead. Notable references in historical texts. 1. Prose Edda, Snorri Sturluson, a key source that lists many of Odin's names and explores their meanings. 2. Poetic Edda, Grimnismal. This poem features Odin reciting a list of his many names. 3. Havamal, another poem in the Poetic Edda offering insights into Odin's wisdom and various names. Source material. The character of Odin and his various roles are detailed in both the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda. Poetic Edda, in the Havamal, Sayings of the High One, Odin imparts wisdom and knowledge through a series of poetic verses, showcasing his profound insights and sacrifices. I know that I hung on a windrock tree 9 whole nights with a spear wounded, and to Odin offered myself to myself on that tree of which no one knows from what root it springs. Havamal, stanza 138. Prose Edda, in Gylfaginning, the deluding of Gylfi, Snorri Sturluson provides a comprehensive account of Odin's attributes and deeds, highlighting his significance as the father of gods and men. Odin is highest and eldest of the Aesir. He rules all things, and mighty though the other gods are, yet they all serve him as children obey a father. Gylfaginning, chapter 20. Odin's personal appearance is distinctive and imbued with symbolic elements that reflect his multifaceted nature. One-eyed god, Odin's most distinctive feature is his one-eyed visage, a testament to his sacrifice at Mimir's well. This singular eye symbolizes his profound wisdom and the knowledge attained through sacrifice. Wide-brimmed hat and cloak. Often depicted with a wide-brimmed hat and cloak, Odin uses these garments to travel incognito through realms. This attire signifies his role as a wanderer and seeker of knowledge. Spear Gungnir. Odin wields Gungnir, an unmatched spear crafted by dwarves, symbolizing his authority in warfare and leadership among the gods. Ravens and wolves. Accompanying Odin are two ravens, Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who traverse the world to gather information. These birds embody his vast knowledge and omnipresence. Additionally, Odin is often accompanied by two wolves, Geri and Freki, symbolizing his predatory nature. Long beard and old age. Odin is typically portrayed as an elderly, long-bearded figure, emphasizing his timeless wisdom and commanding presence. Source material from the Eddas. Odin's character and roles are extensively detailed in Norse mythology. Poetic Edda. The Havamal features verses attributed to Odin, revealing his wisdom and sacrifices for knowledge. Prose Edda. Gylfaginning by Snorri Sturluson describes Odin as the foremost of the Aesir, ruling with unmatched authority and wisdom. Odin's complex persona and relentless pursuit of knowledge define his pivotal role in Norse mythology. Valhalla, the Hall of Fallen Warriors. Valhalla, often described as the Hall of the Slain, is a majestic and mythic hall within Asgard, the realm of the gods, ruled by Odin. It serves as a sanctuary for fallen warriors who have died bravely in combat, offering them eternal glory and a place of honor in preparation for Ragnarok, the apocalyptic battle. Warrior's Paradise. Valhalla is reserved for warriors who have displayed exceptional bravery and skill in battle. Those who die honorably on the battlefield are chosen by Odin and his Valkyries, warrior maidens who serve as choosers of the slain to dwell in this magnificent hall. Feasting and revelry. Within Valhalla, the fallen warriors engage in perpetual feasting and revelry, enjoying an existence of endless camaraderie and celebration. They indulge in lavish banquets, drinking from the mead of Odin, and engaging in contests of strength and skill. Preparation for Ragnarok. While the warriors bask in the glory of Valhalla, they also serve a greater purpose in preparing for Ragnarok, the cataclysmic battle that will ultimately determine the fate of the cosmos. These chosen warriors, known as the Einherjar, spend their days honing their combat skills in preparation for the final conflict. Eternal glory. For the fallen warriors, Valhalla offers not just respite and pleasure, but also the promise of eternal glory. They are revered as heroes among gods and men, their deeds celebrated in song and story for all eternity. Symbolism and interpretation. Heroic ideal. Valhalla embodies the Norse ideal of heroism and valor in battle. It represents the ultimate reward for those who demonstrate courage, skill, and honor in combat. Fate and destiny. The concept of Valhalla underscores the Norse belief in fate and destiny. The chosen warriors are destined for greatness, their lives and deaths predetermined by the Norns, the weavers of fate. Camaraderie and unity. Within Valhalla, warriors from diverse backgrounds and cultures come together in unity, bound by their shared experiences and the camaraderie of battle. This highlights the importance of solidarity and fellowship in Norse society. Source material from the Eddas. The Poetic Edda and Prose Edda provide insights into Valhalla and its significance in Norse mythology. Poetic Edda, in the Grimnismal, the Ballad of Grimnir, Odin describes Valhalla as a place where the Einherjar feast and prepare for Ragnarok. 500 doors and 40 there are, I ween, in Valhall's walls. 800 fighters through one door fare. When to war with the wolf they go. Grimnismal, stanza 10. 500 doors and 40 there are, I ween, in Valhalla's walls. 800 fighters through one door fare, when to war with the wolf they go. Grimnismal, stanza 23. Prose Edda. Snorri Sturluson elaborates on Valhalla in Gylfaginning, describing Odin's hall and its inhabitants. But every day when they have done this, they ride home to Valhalla and sit down to drink, as is said here. All the Einherjar in Odin's court deal out blows every day. Gylfaginning, chapter 20. Then said Gangleri, "What have the champions to drink, that may suffice them? Or is water drunk there?" Then answered Har, "Now thou askest strangely, as if Odin would invite kings, earls, and other noble men, and would give them water to drink. I know by my faith that many a man comes to Valhalla who would think he had bought his drink of water dearly, if there were not better cheer to be had there, he who before had suffered wounds and burning pain unto death. But I can tell thee a different tale of this. The she-goat, she who is called Heidrun, stands up in Valhalla and bites the needles from the limb of that tree which is very famous, and is called Lerother, and from her udders mead runs so copiously that she fills a tun every day. That tun is so large that all the champions become quite drunk from it." Gylfaginning, chapter 38. Valhalla, with its promise of eternal glory and camaraderie, occupies a central place in Norse mythology, reflecting the valor and heroism celebrated by the Norse people. It serves as a testament to the enduring spirit of the warrior and the belief in an afterlife of honor and valor. The Feast of the Heroes, also known as the Feast of the Einherjar, is a significant event in Norse mythology, particularly within the context of Valhalla, the hall of slain warriors ruled by Odin. During this feast, the Einherjar, the honored dead chosen by Odin from among the bravest warriors, gather in Valhalla to celebrate their valor and prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle. This feast serves as a time of revelry and camaraderie, where the fallen warriors indulge in food, drink, and merriment, relishing in their status as champions of battle. The feast is not merely a moment of festivity, but also a solemn occasion, as it symbolizes the warriors' readiness to fight alongside the gods during Ragnarok. It is a time for the Einherjar to bond, share tales of heroic deeds, and hone their skills in anticipation of the apocalyptic clash that will determine the fate of the cosmos. In Valhalla, the Feast of the Heroes is depicted as a grand and joyous occasion, echoing with the echoes of victorious battles and the camaraderie forged in the crucible of warfare. Source material from the Eddas. The Feast of the Heroes is referenced in various Norse texts, including Poetic Edda. While there isn't a specific poem dedicated solely to the Feast of the Heroes, its significance is implied in poems such as the Grimnismal, the Ballad of Grimnir, which describes Valhalla as a hall where slain warriors feast and prepare for battle. Prose Edda, in Gylfaginning, Snorri Sturluson provides a detailed account of Valhalla and the feasting that takes place within its halls, highlighting the valor and camaraderie of the Einherjar as they await Ragnarok. This passage illustrates the grandeur of the feast and the daily life of the Einherjar in Valhalla. The Feast of the Heroes is not just a celebration, but also a symbol of the eternal cycle of death and rebirth, and the preparation for the final battle at Ragnarok. It underscores the valor of the warriors and the hospitality of the gods, providing a glimpse into the heroic culture and religious beliefs of the ancient Norse people. Sleipnir, Odin's eight-legged steed. Sleipnir, meaning slippery or sliding, holds a unique and prominent position in Norse mythology as the eight-legged steed of Odin, the chief god of the Aesir. This extraordinary creature embodies strength, speed, and the ability to traverse the 9 realms of Norse cosmology, making him an indispensable companion for Odin in his various endeavors. Origins and birth. Sleipnir's origins are deeply intertwined with a cunning trick played by Loki, the shape-shifting trickster god. In a series of events leading up to the construction of Asgard, the home of the Aesir gods, Loki, in the form of a mare, offered to help the builders by carrying immense rocks. However, the task proved too demanding, and Loki, unable to fulfill his promise, called upon his father, the giant Svadilfari, to assist him. To prevent Svadilfari from entering Asgard, the gods tasked Fenrir, Loki's monstrous son, with guarding the entrance. However, Loki, in his cunning nature, delayed Fenrir's return, allowing Svadilfari to mate with the mare form he had taken. This union resulted in the birth of Sleipnir, inheriting his father's 8 legs and his mother's divine lineage. Symbolism and significance. Sleipnir's 8 legs symbolize his extraordinary speed and ability to traverse the 9 realms of Norse mythology, including Asgard, the realm of the gods, Midgard, the realm of humans, and the underworld. This ability makes him an invaluable asset to Odin, allowing him to swiftly travel between realms, fulfill his duties, and gather knowledge. Sleipnir's unique nature also reflects Odin's own multifaceted character. Odin, as the All-Father, possesses immense wisdom, power, and the ability to traverse various dimensions, attributes mirrored in Sleipnir's 8 legs and ability to travel across the realms. Source material from the Eddas. Sleipnir's presence is evident in various Norse texts, including Poetic Edda. In the poem Grimnismal, the Ballad of Grimnir, Sleipnir is described as Odin's steed, carrying the god through the heavens and across the 9 realms. Sleipnir, the best of horses, Odin owns. He is gray and has 8 legs. Grimnismal, stanza 48. Prose Edda. In Gylfaginning, Snorri Sturluson provides a detailed account of Sleipnir's origins and his role as Odin's steed, emphasizing his unique attributes and significance in Norse mythology. But Odin has a horse that is the best of all horses and is called Sleipnir. He is gray and has 8 legs. Gylfaginning, chapter 16. Sleipnir, with his 8 legs and extraordinary abilities, remains a captivating figure in Norse mythology, symbolizing Odin's power, wisdom, and the ability to traverse the vast cosmos. His presence serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of the 9 realms and the role of divine beings in shaping the Norse mythological narrative. In the realm of Norse mythology, the Wild Hunt, also known as the Odinseid or Odin's Ride, is a spectral procession of ghostly riders and hounds led by Odin, the chief god of the Aesir. This mythical event, often associated with the changing of the seasons or the impending doom of war, has captured the imaginations of people for centuries, weaving its way into folklore and literature. Characteristics and depictions. The Wild Hunt is typically portrayed as a rapid, ethereal chase across the night sky, with the spectral riders and hounds leaving a trail of sparks or glowing embers in their wake. The riders, often depicted as fallen warriors or noblemen, are said to be engaged in a perpetual hunt. Their spectral forms a haunting reminder of the afterlife and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Odin, the leader of the Wild Hunt, is often depicted riding his 8-legged steed, Sleipnir, guiding the procession through the heavens. His presence in the hunt symbolizes his role as the ruler of the dead, the psychopomp who guides souls to the afterlife. Cultural significance and variations. The Wild Hunt holds a significant place in Norse mythology, reflecting the beliefs and traditions of the Norse people. It is often associated with the changing of the seasons, particularly the transition from summer to autumn, marking the end of the harvest season and the approach of winter. The Wild Hunt motif is not limited to Norse mythology. Similar spectral processions appear in various cultures worldwide, often associated with folklore and supernatural beliefs. For instance, the Celtic Wild Hunt is led by figures like Gwyn ap Nudd or Herne the Hunter, while similar traditions exist in Slavic and Germanic cultures. Source material from the Eddas. The Wild Hunt is mentioned in various Norse texts, including Poetic Edda. In the poem Grimnismal, the Ballad of Grimnir, Odin describes the Wild Hunt as a procession of fallen warriors. 500 doors and 40 there are, I ween, in Valhall's walls. 800 fighters through one door fare, when to war with the wolf they go. Grimnismal, stanza 10. Prose Edda. In Gylfaginning, Snorri Sturluson provides a detailed account of the Wild Hunt, describing its connection to Odin and the afterlife. Then said Gangleri, "What have the champions to drink that may suffice them, or is water drunk there?" Then answered Har, "Now thou askest strangely, as if Odin would invite kings, earls, and other noble men, and would give them water to drink. I know by my faith that many a man comes to Valhall who would think he had bought his drink of water dearly, if there were not better cheer to be had there." Gylfaginning, chapter 38. In the northern tradition, especially during winter's severe storms or seasonal changes, the Wild Hunt emerges as a tale of spectral hunters flying across the cold night sky, their presence marked by the eerie sound of howling winds. These supernatural huntsmen, often depicted as the deceased elves or occasionally fairies, traverse the heavens under the enigmatic leadership of Odin. The Wild Hunt, with its spectral riders and Odin's enigmatic presence, remains a captivating and enduring element of Norse mythology, serving as a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of the living and the dead, the cyclical nature of life and death, and the enduring power of supernatural beliefs. 7. Ermin. In some regions of Germany, Odin was regarded as identical with the Saxon god Ermin. The statue of Ermin, known as the Irminsul, stood near Paderborn and was famously destroyed by Charlemagne in 772. Ermin was depicted as riding a massive brazen chariot across the sky, a path known to the ancient Germans as Ermin's Way, which we now call the Milky Way. The rumbling of his chariot, audible to humans as thunder, never left the heavens and can be seen in the constellation of the Great Bear, also referred to in the north as Odin's Wain or Charles's Wain. The connection between Odin and Ermin underscores the cultural syncretism within Germanic mythology, where deities and their attributes often overlap. Ermin's celestial journey in his chariot reflects the Norse god's association with the sky and the Milky Way, symbolizing the divine presence and its influence over the natural world. Source material from the Eddas. While there are no direct references to Ermin in the Eddas, the symbolism and attributes associated with Ermin can be related to Odin's portrayal in these texts. The Prose Edda and Poetic Edda provide extensive descriptions of Odin's role as a sky god and his associations with various celestial phenomena. For example, in the Prose Edda, Snorri Sturluson describes Odin's dominion over the heavens and his connection to the cosmos, which can be interpreted as paralleling the imagery of Ermin's celestial chariot. Relevant Edda excerpt. The constellation and the cosmic significance of the deities are reflected in various Norse myths, such as the passage from the Prose Edda, where Snorri Sturluson writes about the Aesir god's connection to the sky and celestial bodies. Then said Gangleri, "What is there to be said of the place called Gladsheim?" Hai replied, "In the place stands a hall, higher than any other buildings, and is roofed with gold, and it is called Valhall. There Odin sends those men whom he chooses, and they are called Einherjar. They are warriors who, when they come to Odin in Valhall, every day arm themselves and go out into the courtyard and fight and slay each other." Gylfaginning, chapter 20. This passage, while describing Valhalla, underscores the connection between Odin and the celestial realm, akin to Ermin's association with the sky and the Milky Way. Odin's identification with Ermin in Germanic mythology illustrates the shared characteristics of divine figures across cultures, highlighting their roles in the natural and cosmic order. The imagery of Ermin's chariot in the Milky Way, seen in the constellation of the Great Bear, is a testament to the enduring legacy of these mythological traditions. 8. Mimir's Well. Mimir's Well, also known as Mimisbrunner, is a profound source of wisdom and knowledge in Norse mythology. It is located beneath one of the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree in the realm of the frost giants, Jotunheim. This well is guarded by the wise being Mimir, whose name means the rememberer or the wise one. The story: Odin, the All-Father, sat on his high seat, Hlidskjalf in Asgard. From this throne, he could gaze out across the 9 realms held within the vast branches of Yggdrasil, the world tree. His one remaining eye, sharp and blue as a winter sky, scanned the cosmos. Despite the vast knowledge he had already gathered, Odin was troubled by the whispers among Yggdrasil's leaves. The rustling seemed to foretell doom and an uncertain future, a fate even his extensive wisdom could not fully unveil. He remembered his previous sacrifice at the Well of Erd, where he had hung on Yggdrasil for 9 days and nights to gain the knowledge of the runes. Yet, that wisdom was not enough. Odin knew he needed more clarity to foresee and perhaps alter the course of the looming fate. Odin had heard tales of Mimir, an ancient being who resided among the roots of Yggdrasil in Jotunheim, the realm of the giants. Mimir guarded a well that was said to bubble up from the depths of the cosmos, containing unparalleled wisdom. Determined to drink from this well, Odin decided to seek out Mimir. Disguising himself as an old wanderer, as was his custom, Odin donned a dark blue coat and a floppy hat. This guise allowed him to travel unnoticed, avoiding the attention and challenges that would arise if others knew he was Odin, chief of the Aesir. With his cloak of ravens swirling around him, Odin set out on his quest. The journey to Jotunheim was long and treacherous, but Odin pressed on. The realm of the giants was rugged and hostile, with towering mountains and harsh winds that bit at his skin. Finally, he reached the great roots of Yggdrasil, where Mimir made his home beside his mystical well. As Odin approached, Mimir, with his long white hair and eyes as old as time, sensed his presence. "Who approaches my abode?" Mimir's voice boomed, echoing through the ancient trees. "It is I, Odin, chief of the gods," Odin declared, throwing off his disguise and standing tall. "I have come to partake of your well of wisdom and knowledge." Mimir's eyes narrowed as he regarded Odin. "Odin, whose gallows are Yggdrasil, you must know that the wisdom you seek comes at a great price. Are you prepared to pay it?" Odin stepped closer to the edge of the well, staring into its dark, rippling waters that seemed to whisper secrets from the depths of the universe. "Name your price, Mimir, and I will pay it," Odin said, his voice steady and somber. "The price is one of your eyes, Allfather," Mimir replied. "You must pluck it out and drop it into the well so that all who gaze into its waters will see the sacrifice of Odin." Odin's heart pounded with the weight of the decision. He took a deep breath and with unwavering determination reached up to his face. With a grunt of pain, he plucked out his right eye. Blood trickled down his cheek as he held the eye over the well. With a final resolute act, he dropped it into the water. As the eye sank into the depths, the air around them seemed to shift. The leaves of Yggdrasil rustled high above, whispering Odin's name through the branches. Mimir watched with a mixture of respect and solemnity. Taking his horn, j.r.r horn, Mimir dipped it into the well and filled it with the sacred water. He handed the horn to Odin, who, now the one-eyed god, accepted it gratefully. Odin lifted the horn to his lips and drank deeply. The water was cool and invigorating, filled with the essence of the cosmos. In that moment, Odin's vision expanded beyond the physical realm. He saw the threads of fate weaving through time, the inevitable doom of Ragnarok, and the rebirth that would follow. He saw the intricacies of the future, the struggles and triumphs of gods and men, and the unchangeable as well as the mutable. When he finished drinking, Odin lowered the horn, his remaining eye blazing with newfound understanding. He looked at Mimir, who nodded in silent acknowledgement of the profound wisdom now bestowed upon the All-Father. "May this knowledge guide you, Odin," Mimir said quietly. "You have paid a great price, and the wisdom you now possess is a heavy burden to bear." Odin replaced his eye patch over the empty socket, feeling the weight of his sacrifice, but also the depth of his gain. "Thank you, Mimir. I will carry this wisdom as both a guide and a burden." Turning away from the well, Odin began the journey back to Asgard. Each step was deliberate, his mind filled with visions and insights beyond mortal comprehension. He was now the one-eyed god, with a vision that surpassed any he had ever known before. The rustling leaves of Yggdrasil seemed to echo his resolve, whispering tales of his sacrifice and the wisdom he had gained. Symbolism and significance. Mimir's well symbolizes the profound and often costly pursuit of knowledge and understanding. Odin's sacrifice of his eye emphasizes the concept that true wisdom frequently demands significant personal sacrifice. The well serves as a potent symbol of the depths of knowledge that lie beyond superficial understanding, requiring seekers to delve deeper and sometimes relinquish something precious to access the hidden truths of the universe. Source material from the Eddas, Mimir's Well, and Odin's Sacrifice are detailed in the Prose Edda, specifically in the section called Gylfaginning. This text provides a vivid account of Odin's quest and the sacrifices he made to gain wisdom. In Gylfaginning, Snorri Sturluson writes, "Odin is the name of the highest and oldest of the gods. He rules all things, and mighty though the other gods are, yet they all serve him as children obey a father. Frigg is his wife, and she knows all the fates of men, though she speaks no prophecy. As is said here, there stands an ash called Yggdrasil, a mighty tree showered with shining loam. From there come the dews that fall in the valleys. It stands evergreen above Urd's well." Further detailing Odin's sacrifice, the text continues. "Then said Gangleri, much knowledge must Odin have gathered, since he sees everything and knows all things, which is due to the fact that he drinks from Mimir's well. He sacrificed one of his eyes in the well as a pledge." This passage from the Prose Edda underscores the immense value placed on wisdom and the lengths to which Odin, the chief of the gods, would go to obtain it. Mimir's Well stands as a testament to the Norse belief in the power and importance of knowledge and the sacrifices required to attain it. Tart 9. Odin and Vafthrudnir. In Norse mythology, the story of Odin and Vafthrudnir is a compelling tale that underscores the value placed on wisdom and knowledge and the risks associated with the pursuit of such knowledge. This story is primarily found in the Vandasmal, one of the poems in the Poetic Edda. The challenge. Odin, the All-Father, is known for his relentless quest for wisdom. In the Vafthrudnismal, he decides to test his knowledge against that of Vafthrudnir, a giant renowned for his wisdom. Disguising himself as a wanderer named Gainrod, Odin approaches Vafthrudnir's hall and challenges him to a contest of wits. The stakes are high. The loser of the contest will forfeit his life. The contest. The contest begins with Odin and Vafthrudnir asking each other questions about the cosmos, the gods, and various esoteric matters. Odin answers all of Vafthrudnir's questions correctly, demonstrating his vast knowledge. The questions cover a wide range of topics, including the origins of the world, the fate of gods, and the secrets of the universe. One of the notable questions asked by Vafthrudnir is about the origin of the earth and the sky. Tell me, Gainrod, if thy wit serves thee well, since thou art famed for wisdom, whence came the earth or the high heaven first, wise giant? Odin answers confidently, showcasing his deep understanding of the creation myth. From Ymir's flesh, the earth was fashioned, and from his bones the hills, the heaven from the skull of that ice-cold giant, and from his blood, the sea. The contest continues with increasingly challenging questions. Finally, Odin asks a question that only he himself could answer. What did Odin say in the ear of his son, ere he mounted the bale steed's back? Vafthrudnir realizes that only Odin could know the answer to this question, thus revealing Odin's true identity. Acknowledging defeat, Vafthrudnir concedes that Odin is the wisest of all beings. Significance. The story of Odin and Vafthrudnir highlights several key themes in Norse mythology: wisdom and knowledge. The contest underscores the Norse reverence for wisdom and knowledge, depicting it as a domain where even the gods seek to excel. Disguise and deception. Odin's use of disguise demonstrates cunning and willingness to employ deception to achieve his goals. Mortality and the divine. The high stakes of the contest, with the loser forfeiting his life, reflect the serious consequences associated with the pursuit of wisdom. Source material from the Eddas. The Vafthrudnismal in the Poetic Edda provides a detailed account of this story. Here is an excerpt from the poem where Odin reveals his identity. Much have I fared, much have I found, much have I got of the gods. What spake Odin himself in the ears of his son, ere Baldur he burned on the bale. This line from Vafthrudnismal highlights the moment of revelation and the recognition of Odin's unmatched wisdom. The story of Odin and Vafthrudnir serves as a profound narrative illustrating the centrality of wisdom in Norse mythology, the lengths to which Odin will go to attain it, and the ultimate acknowledgement of his supremacy in this realm. In Norse mythology, the invention of runes is attributed to Odin, the All-Father. Runes are an ancient script used by Germanic peoples, believed to hold magical properties and great wisdom. The story of Odin discovering the runes showcases his pursuit of knowledge and willingness to endure suffering for enlightenment. According to the Havamal, Odin hung himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, and pierced his side with a spear, enduring 9 days and nights without sustenance. His sacrifice granted him insight into the runes' magical nature. Hanging from the tree, Odin gazed into the well of Urd and saw the runes, screaming in triumph as he grasped their secrets. The runes are not just letters, but are imbued with powerful magic for divination, protection, and spells. Each rune holds unique meanings and significance. By mastering the runes, Odin gained profound knowledge and enhanced his magical abilities. These runes became integral to Norse culture, used by seers and magicians for divination and protection. They were also carved into objects like weapons and amulets for magical purposes. The primary source for this tale is the Havamal from the Poetic Edda, which details Odin's sacrifice and the rune's importance. Through his sacrifice, Odin symbolizes wisdom and knowledge in Norse mythology, cementing his role as the foremost deity. Tartstarch 11, Geirrod and Agnar. In Norse mythology, the tale of Geirrod and Agnar is a compelling story that highlights themes of hospitality, deception, and the wisdom of Odin. This narrative is primarily Poetic Edda, specifically in the poem Grimnismal, the Lay of Grimnir. The story. Geirrod and Agnar, sons of King Hrodung, were full of youthful curiosity. One crisp morning, they begged their father, "May we take a boat and explore the vast sea, father?" King Hrodung, a wise and kind ruler, hesitated. "The seas can be treacherous, my sons." "We'll be careful, father," Agnar insisted, his blue eyes sparkling with excitement. Geirrod, more reserved but equally eager, nodded in agreement. King Hrodung, unable to resist their pleas, finally relented. "Take only a small boat and stay close to the shore," he cautioned. The brothers set sail, laughter echoing across the waves. But as the day wore on, a ferocious storm brewed on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered, blotting out the sun. The once playful waves turned into angry giants, tossing their small boat like a toy. "We must turn back, Agnar," Geirrod yelled, his voice barely audible over the howling wind. But it was too late. A monstrous wave crashed upon them, sending the boat flying. When Geirrod resurfaced, gasping for air, he saw only splintered wreckage and a vast, empty ocean. Despair threatened to engulf him, but then he spotted a dark shape in the distance, an island. Exhausted but with renewed hope, they swam towards the island. Upon reaching the shore, they collapsed onto the soft sand. Just then, a gentle voice startled them. "Lost and weary travelers, come, rest and replenish yourselves." An elderly couple, their faces kind and weathered, stood before them. They welcomed the boys into their humble hut, offering them warmth, food, and dry clothes. Over steaming mugs of broth, the couple introduced themselves as Hnikar and Hnikar. Unbeknownst to the boys, these were actually Odin, the All-Father, and his wife Frigg in disguise. For days, the boys stayed on the island, learning valuable skills from Hnikar and listening to Hnikar's captivating stories. Odin, disguised as Hnikar, instilled in Geirrod the importance of wisdom, justice, and hospitality, qualities of a great leader. Frigg, disguised as Hnikar, subtly challenged these values, planting seeds of suspicion in Geirrod's young mind. One evening, as they sat by the crackling fire, Hnikar, Odin, turned to the boys. "The time has come for you to return to your homeland." Hnikar Odin then surprised them with a playful wager directed at Hnikar Frigg. "Geirrod, under my guidance, will become a just and noble king," he declared. Hnikar Frigg chuckled. "We shall see, Hnikar. Power can easily corrupt even the purest hearts." The next day, Hnikar and Hnikar, Odin and Frigg, led the boys back to their kingdom. As they parted ways, Hnikar, Odin, whispered a final piece of advice to Geirrod. "Remember, a true king treats all, even strangers, with respect." The boys lingered on the island with their kind caregivers throughout the long, harsh winter. But with the arrival of spring, clear blue skies and calm seas, a longing for home bloomed in their hearts. Bidding farewell to Hnikar and Hnikar, unaware of their true identities as Odin and Frigg, the boys set sail in a boat provided by Odin. Gentle breezes carried them swiftly towards their homeland. However, as the boat neared the shore, a darkness seemed to cloud Geirrod's spirit. He abruptly leaped out and, with a cruel shove, pushed the boat back into the water. "Sail away into the clutches of that evil spirit," he bellowed towards his brother. As if on cue, the wind shifted, carrying Agnar away from the safety of the shore. Geirrod, burdened by the weight of his terrible act, rushed back to his father's palace. There, he fabricated a story about what transpired, claiming Agnar had been lost at sea. Overjoyed at the return of his prodigal son, Geirrod eventually ascended to the throne. Years passed, and the once promising young boy who left for the island had transformed into a king consumed by suspicion. His reign lacked the warmth of hospitality, a stark contrast to the lessons instilled by the mysterious couple. These were in fact lessons that Odin, the All-Father, disguised as Hnikar, had hoped would take root within Geirrod. Now, driven by his insatiable curiosity and a desire to test Geirrod's character, Odin would return to see if any embers of those teachings still flickered within the king. One night, a harsh wind howled around Geirrod's grand hall, rattling the windows and whipping snow against the walls. As the feasting reached its peak, a figure materialized at the entrance. Clad in tattered rags and a cloak dusted with snow, an old man with a long, white beard stood hunched over a gnarled staff. This was Odin, disguised as Grimnir, a weary wanderer seeking refuge from the storm. He gave his name as Grimnir, but refused to tell whence he came or what he wanted. This only confirmed the suspicions Frigg's raven had planted in Geirrod's mind. His love of cruelty taking hold, Geirrod commanded that the stranger be bound between two fires. The flames danced around him, just out of reach, a cruel torment. 8 days and nights he remained thus, in obstinate silence, without food. Meanwhile, Agnar, who had secretly returned to his brother's palace in a lowly position, couldn't bear to watch the suffering any longer. One night, when all was still, he snuck in a horn of ale, a small act of defiance against his cruel brother and a desperate attempt to ease the disguised god's pain. "Here, stranger," Agnar whispered, offering the horn. "Drink, and find some solace in this darkness." Odin, parched from the ordeal, gratefully accepted the ale. This single act of kindness would prove pivotal in the events to come. At the end of the 8th day, j.r.r. sat upon his throne, gloating over the supposed sorcerer's agony. Suddenly, a low, melodic tune filled the hall. It grew louder, a powerful song echoing off the rafters. Odin, his voice booming with newfound strength, sang a prophecy of doom for the king who had so heartlessly tortured him. "The fallen by the sword," he sang, his voice resonating with power, "Ygg shall now have. Thy life is now run out. Wroth with thee are the Desir. Odin thou now shalt see. Draw near to me, if thou canst." As the final notes faded, the chains binding Odin clattered to the floor. The flames flickered and died, revealing Odin no longer as a weazened old man, but a magnificent god, radiating power and glory. Geirrod, hearing the ominous prophecy, reached for his sword in a fit of rage, intending to slay the source of his humiliation. But the sight of the transformed Odin struck him with terror. He stumbled backward, tripped, and fell upon his own blade, fulfilling Odin's prophecy in a horrifying twist of fate. Turning to Agnar, the true son of the previous king, according to some accounts, these old stories are indeed filled with inconsistencies. In other tales, Agnar is depicted as Geirrod's son, with Geirrod giving his son his own brother's name. Odin spoke. "Ascend the throne, Agnar," he boomed. "Your compassion has earned you this reward." He then promised to shower Agnar with prosperity, a token of gratitude for the timely draught of ale that had sustained the disguised god during his torment. Source material from the Eddas. The story of Geirrod and Agnar is told in Grimnismal from the Poetic Edda. Here are some key stanzas. "I was called Grim. I was called Gangleri, Herion, Hjalmbari, Thek, Thrithi, Thuth, Uth, Helblindi, Har, Sad, Svipal, San, Svithrir, and Yggdrasil." Grimnismal, stanza 46. Then Geirrod went to take Grimnir off the fires. Grimnir, however, had sat there so long that flames burned through his cloak. Grimnismal, prose after stanza 36. "Odin I am called, Ygg was my name before, called Thund and Vak and Skilfing, Vafud and Raptatir, with the gods, Gaut and Jalk amid the gods." Stanza 48. These passages highlight Odin's numerous names and the dramatic revelation of his true identity, which underscore the moral lessons embedded in the tale of Geirrod and Agnar. The story illustrates the virtues of hospitality, the perils of mistrust, and the far-reaching consequences of one's actions in 12. May Day festivals. May Day, a vibrant celebration of spring's arrival and the renewal of life, holds deep roots in Norse mythology and pagan traditions. It is a time to honor the gods, particularly Odin, who is associated with wisdom, transformation, and the cycle of nature. The significance of May Day. May Day rituals were believed to promote fertility and abundance in the coming year. People would gather to dance around a maypole, a symbol of the world tree Yggdrasil, and decorate their homes with greenery and flowers. These festivities were a joyous expression of gratitude for the return of warmth and life after the harsh winter months. Odin's connection to May Day. Odin, the All-Father in Norse mythology, is often depicted as a wanderer, a seeker of knowledge, and a tester of character. He is associated with the natural world, particularly the transition from winter to spring, a time of renewal and transformation. In some Norse traditions, Odin is said to have presided over May Day celebrations, overseeing the rituals and ensuring the blessings of fertility and abundance. His presence was believed to bring good fortune and harmony to the community. Source material from the Eddas. The Voluspa, a prophetic poem from the Poetic Edda, provides a glimpse into the cyclical nature of the world and the role of Odin in its renewal. "I saw the earth rise again, green once more, after Fimbulwinter. The sun shone from the south on the cliffs, and the grass grew green." Voluspa, stanza 10. "Then comes forth the mighty son of Lodin Odin, to his doom wends Odin. Then comes forth the great mother of giants, the most worthy for counsels." Verses 46 to 47. This passage highlights Odin's involvement in the cyclical process of destruction and renewal, underscoring his significance in the cosmic order and the transition from one age to the next. Conclusion. May Day festivals, with their roots in Norse mythology and pagan traditions, embody the celebration of life's renewal and the connection between humanity and the natural world. Odin, as a god associated with transformation and the cycle of nature, is often seen as a presiding figure over these festivities, ensuring blessings of fertility and abundance. The Voluspa, with its depiction of cyclical destruction and renewal, reflects the significance of May Day as a celebration of life's enduring power.